Hello everybody, here's my mamaw, and
Hello.
we're going to take y'all on a ride down the holler today. So y'all been requesting to see the holler that we lived in and mama and papa grew up in. So we're going to take y'all for a ride down the holler now. We're going to go slow so y'all can see everything. We're going to show y'all all the places where they lived at and where they grew up at. It should be a short video because it's not that big of a holler. But here's a little manger scene down there. I don't know if y'all could see that. And this is where Papa used to live, I think, or this is where his brother lived.
Yeah, that's where his brother lived. His brother's done gone on. But he's kin to about half these people up in this holler. My family was raised in another holler. Right here is where Papa grew up at. He lived. His mother used to have flowers all around through here. They was beautiful. The big house stood right there, and they
We had a car behind us.
oh, but they've done sold it. So
And there used to be a big two-story house there before, Papa said. And that's where he lived at in that lot. He was born and raised there. And I was going to show y'all back there, but that's right back there is where Papa's nephew lives at.
this car behind us.
And they know pretty much every single person, every house down through the whole holler. They know who it is.
Yeah,
Because they was raised here their whole life. They lived in this holler since they was born.
This is his nephew's house.
That's a different nephew. The one back there is his brother's son. And that one must have been from his mom's side.
No, this is from his dad's side too.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's an old abandoned school bus down there. It's been there my whole life.
Used to be a schoolhouse set right here years and years ago, but there's the house now, but nobody lives in it.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. When Mom and Dad was growing up, there was a school right there. And this is some of Milton's kin people right here.
Whenever I was in elementary school, the lady that lived in this house was she was like a janitor and the cook, and she was always super nice. She would always give us candy and stuff.
She's done passed on too.
She passed just a few years ago.
This house has been abandoned for years. They were church-going people.
That big giant hill there, you can't really see on the video how big it is, but that's like maybe 1.5 miles long, that big hill. And if you go to the top of that and you top over, it'll be at the coal mines.
Yeah, and Milton, where he was raised up at, in the wintertime, he used to walk from there all the way up to where I lived to see me. And sometimes he could get his car down here and park it and then walk up the holler where I lived.
And here's the holler where Mama was born at.
Yeah, I was born right here. This is where I was born. It was an old house there. My grandma lived there, my dad's mom. And but the house is done gone and everything now. That's where I was born at.
That trailer that's there now was just there for the past couple years.
Yeah.
That was a really old house there and it got burned down, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's where her grandma lived, she said, and she just was born there.
Yeah.
But really, she lived in this holler down here.
Well, not this holler down below this, but right here's the church that we always used to go to all the time. I'll take you around it. But there was another church that was where the flag poles is at right here. That was an old-timey church. That's where me and Milton went to church when we was kids. And his dad used to play a fiddle in the church. The church was right here. This is a cemetery. That's where all our people's buried. My mom and dad's right on the tip top, and I can hardly get up there to see them anymore. Once in a while, the kids will take me up on a four-wheeler, but they've put graves in there now, so you can't get a four-wheeler up there now. So, and they built this church years ago after this old one tore down. It was a Sister Taylor that is the pastor here now, and she's the one that married us.
There was just a little wooden church, I think, before.
Yeah, there was a one-room church there where the new church is at now. And then there was 3 rooms on the other one that was tore down where the flags was at. So.
Papa's mom and dad and his brother and sister-in-law, they're all buried up there in that same cemetery too.
Yeah, yeah. All our people and Milton's people's buried up there. So, and then, now that's where I got off the bus at, was right there where we went up to the church at. I used to walk out this holler right here, but there was a shortcut that I come down by the church when I went to school. Now, I'll take you up a little piece to this holler here. Wow, I didn't know that was going to be there.
Yeah, I don't think there's a place to turn around up here, and it's pretty bumpy.
No, right up here there is. Now, this is where I lived. This is a holler that I lived in. So, see, that's the holler, and this is a holler off a holler. This is a holler off a holler. Now, I used to have to walk out of here to go to school every morning. And then I used to walk out of here. Oh, it is pretty bad, ain't it? It's been a while since I've been up in here. I didn't know it was all rutted out like this. But nobody lives up in here now. But anyway, I'd walk out to go get the mail. I told y'all about it. And Milton would walk out from that holler there and go get the mail. And then we started meeting every day and walking to get the mail together. And then we started dating. So it's been a while since I've been up in here. So, and I used to take the shortcut here to go to school. I'd cut across here. Dad built a bridge across the little creek there. And we would go that way to catch the bus. And we walked all the way out here. It's still a pretty good piece where you go up in here at. Probably about 1.5 miles that we lived up in here. But my brothers, they would fall in the creek of the mornings and go home and tell Mom they was wrestling around on the bridge and they fell in the creek so they wouldn't have to go to school. And these are the trees over here that they used to swing. They'd climb up in the tip top of these trees, my brothers did, and they would swing from tree to tree until we got home. And I'll turn right up here because they still probably another 1/2 mile where we used to live. Well, it wouldn't be that far, would it? Just right up there, ain't it?
No, I think it's about 1/2 mile.
It's about 1/2
and
mile.
there's a couple ponds up here too, and coal mines now that they put in the back of this holler.
Yeah, but I'm going to turn right here because there's a big hole right there. It's been a long time since I've been up in here.
Yeah, all this over there is just it's like I think it's called a punch out, or where they go in and out of the coal mines now. None of this was there before. It's like a road that goes all the way up and around through there.
Yeah, I never noticed that before.
Yeah, that's only been there for like the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I come up in here every summer because I do a lot of molly mooching is what they call it, and it's the little mushrooms that are called morels, and I come and pick those for mamaw. I hunt those right down here, and then I hunt ramps, which is right back there. There's a good spot for ramps, and then I hunt ginseng in this holler too. So I come up in this holler multiple times every summer.
Yeah, so yeah, I used to, in the wintertime we'd walk out to go to school. And it would be cold, but we would do it. Remember back then, girls didn't wear pants. They wore dresses. But Mom got me a pair of snow pants, and she made me wear them to school, and I was so embarrassed because girls back then didn't wear pants. Or We didn't. I don't know if anybody else did or not. I don't know. But this is the holler that I was raised up in. It's just right off the main holler where Milton lived. And we always went to school together.
This is the Molly Moocher spot right here.
Yeah.
This is where I go and I search this little field through here and I pick Molly Moochers all day and I bring them back to Mama and she fries them up for breakfast.
Yeah, I like them with eggs.
As soon as I get some, we'll make a cooking video for y'all, so y'all could see Mama making her Molly Moochers.
And that's in the spring? Is it spring or summer?
I think it's spring.
I love them.
Whenever she was talking about the church being up on that hill before, and then it was a wooden church, that was long before my time, because my whole life it's looked exactly like it looks now.
Yeah, he didn't see the other churches that was there. There was a one-room church except where the church is sitting at now, and it had a coal stove in it to keep it warm, people warm. Ooh, a drug air. And then we had another church that was just a one-room church. We had 2 back rooms for classes, but and then they got the land where the church is at now, so they built this one.
Whenever I was a little kid, we would walk from the house all the way down that road that y'all just seen, all the way to that church there, and there was a little creek, like a little, I don't know what to call it, like a swimming hole, and there would always be ducks there, and we would bring bread on our walk to church and we would feed the ducks there.
And this is some of Milton's nephews right here that lives right here too.
Mama wrecked in the creek right over there
Yeah.
one time. She flipped the car in the creek right back there.
Yeah, it was real icy and snow, and we had just come from South Carolina. Annie had surgery and I had to leave her up there. Me and Mom had to come back home. Mom had to get her bills paid and get some money, and so when I flipped the car there, it bruised me all up, and I couldn't go back to get Annie. And my daughter that lived in North Carolina, she went to South Carolina and got her and brought her home after she started healing up. So
It was in the middle of the winter and the creeks was almost froze over and they flipped in the creek and
yeah,
all of them was soaking wet. They had to go to that house that was across the creek back there, and that lady gave them clothes and stuff to put on, so dry clothes, so they wouldn't catch ammonia or nothing.
yeah.
But I think there was about 4 or 5 of them. A couple of my cousins and the rest of them was Mama's kids,
Yeah.
or foster kids.
Yeah, Jonathan was in there, and he had a kid that was in there. And some of them. Now here's another holler, right here. So this is a holler. It's got holler off a holler. So that's what I call.
This is called Buffalo.
Yeah. This is Buffalo holler here.
I don't know if y'all could see it or not, but there's a greenhouse way up through there, and that's where Papa's brother lived at. And he just recently passed, like maybe 2 years ago, I
Yeah, about
think.
2 years.
We always look for deer in these, or turkeys in these fields here.
Right here, yeah.
There's normally just dozens of deer or turkey in these fields. You could see them normally standing back there at the tree line. And I don't think nobody's allowed to hunt out of these either, so they know that nobody can hunt in these fields, so they come all down here just to show off.
Yeah. And this is a family graveyard right there too, just recently made. They had 2 sons to pass away, and they own that land, so they put their that's where they had put their family graveyard at. This is the firehouse right here. It used to be the community center. I used to years ago, I had it when I had the Crusaders, the young people, and we had dances and stuff in there, and preachers would come down and preach, or they'd have drama teams would come down, we had different things going on for the young people there.
Now they changed it to the fire department.
Yeah, they changed to the fire department. And this is where my brother's wife's people lives.
Her sister-in-law.
Yeah.
I think they're there now, actually.
Yeah.
Mama's brothers drives that gray truck that was back there. And the sister-in-law, Mama's sister-in-law that lives in that house back there, she was my Sunday school teacher at that church we showed y'all just a minute ago. And we would play games to where we could win a prize. And even if I didn't win nothing, whenever I was walking out, she would always stop me and give me a prize anyway. She's always been super nice to me, even since I was a little kid.
Everybody's decorating for Christmas now.
This is one of the oldest houses on this holler.
Yeah, it is.
It's a really old house. And then there used to be a school over here.
This is where I went to grade school at. It's just a big field now.
Long before my time. I've never seen it.
Yeah, they had a ball field, they had swings. And me and Milton used to run around the school and play tag, and my brothers, and we'd all run around the school and play tag and play together. Never once thought that me and him would end up getting married or date or anything. You know, we was always schoolmates. Oh, and here's a Presbyterian church. Now,
this is one of the oldest churches on this
This is
holler.
the oldest one here. It's over 100 years old. And now I'm going to take you and show you our store. Okay. This is one of the oldest churches. They just put siding on it because it was starting to leak and everything looked bad. So they just put siding on it.
Yeah, it was wood for my whole life. I guess it's over 100 years old. I didn't even know that. I just knew it was one of the oldest churches on the holler.
It's over 100 years old. And this is the store that we usually come to. This is a community store right here. And they have tables and chairs in there, and you can go in there and eat breakfast or eat dinner. They have hot dogs and hamburgers. They have pizza. Just a little bit of everything in there. You know, so this is the main road right here. This is the main road from Beckley. This goes to Beckley.
And that store back there is the closest store, and there's not another store for maybe another 10 miles.
Yeah.
So that's the store we go to whenever we can't make it to any other stores. But it's real expensive there, so we normally don't go there. Yeah. Unless it's the last option.
And this is the church. A missionary woman come years ago when I was a little girl. And she had choir practice and stuff there. And I lived over here in this field. It was a beautiful field. It had an apple orchard in it. I mean, it was beautiful. And the person that was written off from, he lived there, and he had an apple orchard. And the road come from our house. He rented us a house, and Dad would bring me across. There was a bridge there, and he would bring me to Sunday school and to choir practice here when I was real little. I guess I might have been 10. So, and that's our hollers. That is our hollers. And this is the main road that takes you to Beckley and Whitesville. Go to Marmette. You go to Marmette this way too.
And I don't know if y'all seen it or not, but they must have been all in the barn. But these people up there, they got some cows, and it's the only, or I don't know if they're still the only cows that's that type, but a few years ago when they got them, it was the only type of that specific cow in the whole state of West Virginia. And they was like a miniature something.
Yeah.
It was like a special breed, and they was miniature.
Yeah.
There's another holler up through there. See, this is the main road now, so anything that's a road that goes off of this is called a holler.
Yeah.
Like that back there was another holler.
Yeah, and we rode this every morning to the high school that was on down next to Whitesville, or Sycamore. It was down next to Sycamore, the Bear Fork High School was. So, and then they moved to Clear Fork High School. It was falling in, so they tore it down. And then the kids had to go to, I can't, where it was at now, Pettis or Marsh Fork or Trap Hill or Liberty or something like that. The schools in Trap Hill they had to go to. So my son, he went to Peterstown. That's where Becky, my sister-in-law and brother, lived at the time. So he went up there and graduated in Peterstown, right next to Virginia. He didn't like none of these other schools. That was my old bus driver that I had. Whoops. He would give us candy and stuff every evening when we got off the bus. We'd go there in the mornings and help him feed his sheep. They'd have a bottle for us, and we'd feed their sheep. And I used to live over here too. When I started going to grade school, I lived over here, and we had to walk over to his house because we were supposed to went to Whitesville school, but we didn't want to go to Whitesville. Mom didn't want us to go, so we walked over and called him, and because he was the bus driver then, and he would take us up there to where we showed you the grade school used to be at. And then other evenings when we got off the bus, he would give me and Lonnie a bag of candy. But he'd do that every day. Every day we went to school, we'd go over and feed their lambs, their baby lambs, a bottle, and then we'd go to school. So, and this way here is
the stables.
Yeah, stables. They have rodeos here sometimes.
This is my friend's Pawpaw's house, and I think he has about 10 horses, and they do everything here. They do rodeos.
Yeah.
You can see all the horses down there.
Yeah.
They do horse races. It's called barrel races. I think all those horses are all barrel horses. And it's called Fraley Stables. Y'all might be able to find it if y'all look it up on the internet or something. Because they do like horse shows and stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
If any of y'all wants to come out and see them, they have hot dogs and they have like all kinds of good food and stuff too whenever they do it. And they normally do it like maybe once every 2 or 3 months. So if any of y'all wants to stop by there, y'all could look it up online and figure out the address.
And when they moved the grade school from where me and Milton used to go to school at, they moved it to right here. And the grade school is right here now. Over here.
And this is where I went to whenever I was a little kid. It's called Clear Creek Elementary School, I think.
Yeah. There it is. Clear Fork Elementary.
Here's the sign. I don't know if y'all can see that sign or not. It's so small.
Yeah.
On the video. That's the school that I went to whenever I was a kid.
But this is our little community.
And here's another really old church down here that we'll show y'all at the bottom of this hill.
Yeah.
There's 3 churches right here in a triangle. There's one right here, and then there's one over here, and then there's one right there at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
So there's 3 of them just right here.
This is a historical log church is what they call it. They call it the log church. And it's real old too. It's probably the oldest than up there. And then there's
another church right up here.
Yeah, then there's a church right up here. This used to be a restaurant. Well, it was a bar, and then it was a restaurant, and then they turned it into a church. And the man got real sick. He was in an accident, but they don't have church here no more. But
We'll end the video here. We're about to pick up my mom over there at the top of that hill.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and end the video here. And here's me and mamaw. We love y'all.
Yeah, love you. Love you too, Kim.
Make sure to like and subscribe, y'all, and we'll see y'all in the next one.
And like Corey said, when you subscribe, it don't cost nothing to subscribe. It's just saying that you're watching our videos.
Yeah. All you have to do is press a button. It don't cost anything. But it would really help us out a lot if y'all subscribed, because over 80% of y'all is not subscribed.
Yeah. So
Please
but we
subscribe.
love y'all.
Yeah, and we
please
love y'all.
subscribe.
God bless y'all, and we'll see y'all in the next one.
Amen.